Hello, it's Rogation Tuesday, and it is also the commemoration of the feast of St Vincent of Lérins, a monk from the monastery of Lérins, who is famous for writing the Commonitorium and the famous canon by which he determines what is a Catholic doctrine. Now, I was recently in an argument with a person who objected to the way that I had a very narrow view of what Catholic was. And he said that was my Catholicism, and this was their Catholicism. And their Catholicism had the Society of Catholic this, Society of Catholic that, etc., etc. But mine didn't. Because that was far too narrow. It didn't allow for women's ordination, for one thing. But I, like the Anglican Catholic Church, like the Eastern Orthodox Church, like the Roman Catholic Church, look at a particular definition of Catholic, and that is given by St Vincent, who says that you can only accept a doctrine if it has been agreed by everyone, everywhere, at all times. Now, if you think about it, that's a bit too strong. Far too strong a requirement. For example, what happens if you've got the Arians against the Orthodox? Because the Arian people say that Christ was created, and the Orthodox say that no, he was begotten. Well, that means that neither of them are believed by everybody, everywhere, at all times. So you can't get anywhere. So no doctrine becomes Catholic. There's always some form of dissent. The key is to remember that St Vincent was writing round about, I think, 434, which is 3 years after the Great Council of Ephesus, where Nestorianism was denounced, and that the whole idea of Mary, the Mother of God, the Theotokos, was understood. And so basically he has seen in this council an example of what is Catholic. He's seen bishops gather from around the world to discuss the question. They've looked at the Holy Scriptures, and they have listened to what the Church has always been saying on these matters, and they have made a decision based on that information, and that is that our Lord Jesus Christ has two natures in one person. That our Lord Jesus Christ is both divine and human. But there is only one Jesus Christ. He's seen that process. And that means that his idea of what is Catholic is rooted in the life of the Church. But even more than that, you can actually go further back to St Ignatius of Antioch, who was the first one to write of what Catholic meant, and even then the way that he writes it in his letters seems to suggest that the word had been around for quite a long time, and he was writing in the 2nd century. So the word Catholic for him means the Catholic Church is where the people are gathered around the bishop. And that implies that you have to have a valid bishop teaching the Christian faith, and that people have to consent to him and receive the sacraments. So you have the whole essence of the Catholic Church there, and that is what Catholic means. Now, you can always take the idea of universal and say, oh, it means for everyone. That's true. It does have that connotation. It means that Christian doctrine applies to everyone. You can't pick and choose. what a lot of people mean is that Catholicism is a Catholic Church is a church for anyone, and therefore individualises it out. And that's a big problem. Individualisation of the church has seen it damaged because people want to do everything for themselves. They want to... Yes, it's good to think for yourself. That's fine, but thinking for yourself also means reasoning, and reasoning from the bases, not reasoning from society inwards, but from inside the church out to society. You've got to get the direction right. So that's where people get the idea of Catholic. Catholic doesn't necessarily mean being in communion with the Pope. Is the Pope a Catholic? Sometimes. I can hear my dearly beloved Roman Catholic brethren going potty when I say things like that. But the Orthodox Church also claims that it's Catholic. And for them, and you can see it, Catholic and Orthodox actually mean the same thing. So that's what we mean by Catholic. So God bless you, that you may find yourself rooted in the Catholic tradition and drawing yourself ever closer towards our Lord Jesus Christ. God bless you, that when you encounter that which is not Catholic, you may be able to deal with it. And God bless you, that you may be drawn into the society of all the saints who have ever been and ever will be. God bless you, and please pray for me.